Hello my lovely Flosstube friends. Well, it's only February. Well, the beginning of the year. That's flown by, hasn't it? I can't believe that January's gone and we're already sort of nearly halfway through February. So today is Saturday the 10th of February. Needless to say, it has been a whirlwind of activity for me since Christmas and New Year. Work's been manic. Obviously year end and quarter end is always busy in January, so haven't really achieved that much. And then on top of that, there's been loads of other stuff that's been going on, family related and work related, which just basically has tired me out. I'm just so tired. I think it's the weather. I think I must have that sad disorder that I don't cope very well when there's no sunshine and it's not very warm and I can't have the back doors open, and so I tend to find that I'm getting more and more tired, or it might just be old age. I'm not sure which yet. But anyway, not too much on the stitching front has happened because of said busyness. But there has been a little bit of progress. But there's lots of stuff to talk about because it was a very busy January. So let's just get stuck in, shall we? So we'll start with the whips first, so that you can see what I've been up to. Obviously I was at the stitching retreat in January in Glasgow, so the Glasgow stitching retreat. Absolute blast. Just really tiring. The whole having to be up at 4 in the morning to catch a flight that early to Glasgow, and then having a whirlwind of weekend, as well as a really heavy week the week before at work. It did have a bit of an impact, so I did tend to find that I kept sloping off to my room to have a little power nap. Although the power nap started off that I'll just have half an hour, 40 minutes sort of shut eye, and 2 hours later I turned back up. So yeah, so it was very tired, but I think it was just that I was genuinely tired before I went. So again, well, you know me, I go on a stitching retreat. I don't ever really stitch very much, so there's nothing new there. Met loads of lovely people, but I'll cover that shortly. So let's just crack on and get the whips done first. Like I said, I've not worked on all my whips purely because I've barely worked on anything, if I'm completely honest and frank with you. So let's sort of just start where we start and we'll end up where we end up. I've got everything around me, so watch this space. So what have we got? Right, that's not a whip, so don't need that. Right, okay, so first whip is my twisted band sampler. So while I was at the stitching retreat, the plan was to get as much done on this as humanly possible because I really want this as a finish. Needless to say, it's not finished. And the other enlightenment that I realised whilst I was stitching it is I've missed a bit off the bottom. And I thought that I was nearly done and I wasn't. So I'm sort of a bit like, oh, that was a bit depressing. When we was going to the stitching retreat, Shell Butler was making the stitching retreat Glasgow bags. So obviously I had to have one of those. Here it is. Stitching retreat, Glasgow, Scotland. So beautiful. I think that's the thistle. So lovely. So obviously I've got a new little project bag for all of my... And look at that on the inside. Look at the lining. It's so lovely. Obviously all my threads in there. But yeah, fabulous. I do love these little baggies to hold everything together. Really good idea. So, twisted band sampler. Where did we get to? It's pretty appalling if I'm honest, considering that I was at a retreat for the entire weekend. I don't really think I've done as much as I would have liked, but hey ho. So this, obviously you should be seeing a picture of where you last saw it. And this is where we're up to now. So down here. So there's not really that much to do, although, if I explain. So I thought I was at the bottom when I got to here. When I've actually looked at it, there's about that much more that needs to go on the bottom. And at first I was thinking, oh, sod it, I just won't bother. But I have to, because in that bottom left-hand corner where my needle minder is, God, this is really difficult, isn't it? So where this needle minder is down here, which is where I was going to finish, that has actually got a replication of that design on that bottom corner. And if I don't do the extra bit at the bottom to bring it to about here, I won't get that bit. So I have to do extra all the way along the bottom. I don't even know how I managed to mess it out. I think it was because I was doing the bands and trying to do it page by page. I must have lost my way a little. But it's lovely. It's lovely, but I'm sort of so bored of it now. I think when you've stitched on something for years, you sort of lose that enthusiasm. So I think I've lost a bit of enthusiasm on this one. But it's not that I don't like it, it's just that I think because I've had it now for so long, and I keep saying, Teresa, just sit down and do it. But there's so many other things that I want to stitch. I just can't seem to help myself. So, we're not far away. We're not far away, but I do need to sort of like just put up, shut up and get on with it, I think, is what I need to do. So that is the Twisted Band Sampler. Then next up we have Grace Faces. So the last time you saw it I was at a complete page finish. I did put it back on the frame to get some stitching done. But I've been so caught up with Netflix and Amazon Prime that I don't know about you, but I can't actually watch telly and stitch all at the same time, because I tend to find that I either don't focus enough on my stitching or end up just sitting there poised in like a position staring at the TV like that, where I've sort of got a needle in, needle half out, and I'm just sort of stopped. My husband, he finds that really irritating because he's like, are you stitching or are you not stitching? So anyway, so next up is Grace Faces. So the plan was to try and crack on some more with our Grace Faces here. And around now you should be seeing where she's at now. And this is as much as I got done, which is absolutely appalling, if I'm honest. So it's been on the frame for a week. I mean, that's not to say I haven't stitched on other stuff. But that is it. That smidgen of a piece down there is as far as I've got. That's as far as it goes. It's atrocious, isn't it? But I do have an excuse. There is no excuse. I do have an excuse in that because we've had such cold, wet weather here, and I say it's wet, it's been very damp weather. You all know that I had the surgery on my hip a couple of years ago. Well, whenever it's really wet and cold, I tend to find that it makes my hip ache. And obviously because I use my frames on the stand, you have to sit with your legs down. Now, I don't have a problem when I'm walking on it, and I don't have a problem when I'm laying down, but I do have a problem if I sit for too long. So if I sit in a seated position, I tend to find that my hip really aches all the time. So I have to keep getting up and down. So because it's been rather achy recently, it's just made it really difficult for me to want to sit in the seated position and stitch. So I'm tending to find that I'm going for things where I don't need the frame. I don't need the stand, so that I can flip the bottom of the sofa up and at least lay my legs out so that I'm not in a completely seated position. And obviously, and I can move over onto my side rather than being sort of straight. Lame excuse, I know, but I'm sure anyone that's got any sort of hip issues or, you know, issues in general, you tend to find that if you've got one of those sort of things where something starts to ache, it makes you really uncomfortable. So then obviously that doesn't entice me to sort of be relaxed and want to stitch, because it's like I have to keep getting up and down. So that's my excuse anyway. As well as Netflix and Amazon Prime, or Amazon Prime Video, have got a lot to answer for. So someone mentioned to me about these Outlanders. So I thought, well, you know, I'll load it up. I've got it. I've got Netflix and I've got Amazon Prime, so I'll have a little look. Oh my God. I devoured the whole thing. I mean, literally, I just put it on and it just kept, you don't even have to click on the next one. It automatically goes to the next one. So I've just Outlanded right out. So I've watched all the series of Outlanders. which is immense. And now I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the next series. Then obviously my mum, because obviously my mum, where she was a little unwell, we set her up with our Netflix and our Amazon Prime as well. And sort of said to her, oh, Mum, The Crown's on. Well, I think it was Amazon. So I was like, The Crown is on. And my mum's very much into would I say she's a royalist? Yes, my mum is a royalist. My mum loves the royal family, but then my mum loves history, all sorts of history. And the fact that this is as close as they can get it to what is really known about the royal family and the Queen. So that was right up my mum's street. And then because my mum was raving about it, so then when my mum started raving about it, then obviously I had to go watch it, and I agreed. It was really good. So I sort of got sucked and absorbed into that. So again, I was concentrating more on the telly than my stitching. And now I'm on Victoria. So I've watched I've watched two series of Victoria, which again, I'm really getting sucked into. So must be turning into my mum. Although, saying that, Outlander, so anyone that hasn't watched it, which I'm sure is not very many of you, but for those that haven't watched it, I was trying to explain to my mum, because obviously it's all about that Culloden War, but it bounces between just after the Second World War and around when the Culloden War in Scotland took place. Bonnie Prince Charles and it's based in the Scottish Highlands, and I think they actually filmed it in Inverness as well. Well, trying to explain to my mum that it's all steeped in history, but you do have to get your head around the fact that it bounces between the Second World War and the current time, and the fact that it's rather racy. So when I say racy, it's really racy in places. So at that point, I'm sort of saying to my mum, well, you will like it from the historical point of view, because it is factual. It's very much about what actually happened. But I said, you might need to close your eyes or cover your eyes at certain areas. Well, I honestly didn't think my mum would watch it. My mum just got blown away by it. And my mum was no different. So literally we set her up, and next thing I know, my mum's awake all night and didn't go to bed till 10:30 in the morning, because she just basically went on a binge watch. So I was like, okay then. So yeah, but so anyone that hasn't seen it, I do forewarn, it is a little bit racy in places. So if you've got small children or young kids, I wouldn't advise you to put it on in front of the kids, because that could be a bit embarrassing. But it's not just all around that. It's very much a really good. Well, I thought it was a really good storyline, but I got completely sucked into it. So how did I even get onto that? Oh, anyway. So, needless to say, Grace Faces has been rather neglected along with all my other stitching, purely because the answer is I've been watching too much TV, which I don't do. I don't watch TV. But then this isn't really TV, it's series. So yeah, stupid me. Okay, so that's Grace Faces. Next up we have Andromeda. Now, I can't remember when I last showed this to you. So I don't know whether I've done any more on it. I think I did a little bit more, but not amazing amounts from when you last saw it. But just sort of a token gesture bit of stitching, which is about, where is it? About here. So getting not very much at all, but just did that bit there. And this one is being stitched on, I think it's 28 count. I don't know, I'll put it underneath so you can see. Or you'll be seeing it around now. Oh, this video is really not going very well today, is it? I wasn't really prepared, if I'm honest. Right, so that's that one, Andromeda. So next we have Frosty Forest. So last time you saw this, I'd completed the first one, or the first square, and I've just moved on to the next one. Again, not really much progress on this because I spent so much time watching Amazon and Netflix on the train on the way into work. I didn't do my stitching. So the one that I'm currently working on is Snowy Deer, which is this one, sorry for the glare. But because this is like a Christmassy theme, I'm like, well, you know, I'm not really feeling Christmas now. It's terrible. I was moaning that I didn't have anything Christmassy. So then I went and got Christmassy, started stitching Christmassy, and now I'm like, I don't really fancy doing something Christmassy because it's not Christmas. There's just no pleasing some people, is there? Especially me. So, let's move that down there. So this is the grand total of my work. That's it. That's as far as I've got. So, a partial tree, these bits along the top and the border. It's a bit lame really, but for every stitch, it's a stitch more than I had before. But at least that's how I'm seeing it. So that is my Frosty Forest. And again, I'm happy with just sort of taking my time on this one. I can use it for when I just want to sit in bed and stitch because it's on the little Q snap. Right, now, alternative reality seems to have got misplaced here, I think. Or is that it now? I think this might be. It's alternative reality. It is. So next up is alternative reality. So this is the one that I'm doing, and it's stitched 1/1. This one was the one that was being neglected, so I thought it was about time that it came out just for a little stitch. Not amazing amounts of progress since you last saw it, but there is some. So this is where we're at. So I think the last time you saw it, I think I've done sort of these bits here. So, small amount of progress. But like I said, I think because I'm so tired at the moment, I'm really struggling with anything that's requiring some serious brain power or eyeball use. Because it's you've done a day at work and been up since 5 in the morning. I come home and then it's sort of, you need to wear your mag eyes anyway just to see it. So then I'm just like, oh. So I do a few stitches and I'm too tired, my eyes hurt. So then I just leave it. So, yeah. It's definitely got to be the weather. I hate all this going to work in the dark, getting up in the dark, coming home in the dark. It's just always dark. So, because obviously I was so... I wouldn't say I've lost my stitchy bug, I haven't lost it, I just can't be bothered. But I can't be bothered to do anything, even housework. I was like, the hoovering needs doing, can't be bothered. So it's not just my stitching that sort of suffered, it's sort of everything is suffering. So because of that, I thought, you know what, I need something a little fresh and a little new. I can't remember whether I posted this already, I don't think I have, but I'd already said that I was going to get some of the Cricket collection pieces, the seasonal ones, which originally was going to be for the Mania, and I was thinking, well, I could just do one a week and just do 4 of them for 4 weeks of May. But I couldn't help myself, so I started spring because it was just too cute not to. And I really, when you just really need something new, and I really fancied something, but knew it couldn't be anything big because obviously all my other big projects, I need to get some finished before I can justify getting any more or starting anything new. Now, ignore the way that this is actually put on this frame. The only reason I've done this was because I needed it on a frame small enough that I could do it whilst I was laying down rather than sitting. So I've had to sort of improvise. So please just ignore how this looks on this frame, because under normal circumstances I would never advocate to put your fabric on it like this. So this one, let's bring the app up. Journal started. Where is it? There it is. So this one I started on the 2nd of February and I've stitched it, I've just chosen, it's actually called Spring at Lakeside, the fabric. It's a 28 count Lugana by Chromatic Alchemy. you see what I'm right. I couldn't be bothered to cut this fabric down either. So hence the reason why there's so much on here. And then I've had to improvise by turning it up the wrong way and fold it over. It's terrible, isn't it? But this is where I've got to. So she says, there you go. So that is the T, and I'm just working on the R now. But it's super cute. And sunflowers. But yeah, I love it. But like I say, I've just been really lazy. I haven't chopped the fabric. I haven't put it on a frame big enough. It's supposed to be that way up, but I can't be bothered. So it's going that way. But yeah, so we have a new start. And I know I said I wouldn't have any new starts until I'd finished something, but the needs must, and it was a must. I needed to do something, so that was what my decision was. It was just like, throw caution to the wind and start something new. So there you go, that's the whips. My intention is that this afternoon my husband is going off out on a pub crawl. Needless to say, I'm his taxi service, so I'll be taking him. Bear with me, I just need to have a sip of my coffee. Needless to say, I'm his taxi service, but the plan is that I will get my chatelaine out and make some progress on evening in the park. That's the plan for this evening, and possibly tomorrow, depending on the weather. So where have we got? Right, I'm just checking my notes because I'm likely to forget everything and anything right now. So okay, that's all my whips done. So I've showed you the new start. There was an issue, so you'll remember the new chatelaine that I purchased. Sleeping Beauty Castle. The plan was that I was just going to put a few stitches in it just to get it going. The snag was that I posted on the Chatelaine Facebook support page what fabric, and on Stitch Mania, what fabric do you think I should pick? And I put 3 pictures up and had loads and loads of comments back as to what they considered that I should do it on. So I made the decision. I already had the fabric, so I thought I'd make a start. So anyway, I pulled it all out, ready to sort of put it on a frame and get ready. And I was thinking, maybe I'll just check that fabric size again. Well, I've checked the fabric size and I've done it on the calculator. It said my fabric wasn't big enough. So then I posted on the Facebook page and everyone agreed that the fabric I had wasn't big enough. So I'd spent all this money on a bit of fabric that wasn't big enough, that I've now had to repurchase a custom size one. It wouldn't be one of my videos without cutting off, would it? So I've had to go back to Sam at Chromatic Alchemy and ask her if she could do me a custom size piece. So the project's gone back on hold until that turns up. But again, it's just more money. I mean, the end of last year and the beginning of this year has just all been, I feel like I've just been sort of fluttering money around. It's just like I'm throwing it out the door. You know, the tax man gobbled it up at the end of January and like that was a huge chunk, and you know, there's all these things that you have to pay for, and it's sort of, you know, like the fabric. I'd already bought fabric. So I'd already bought fabric and now I've gone and bought more fabric. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do with the other bit of fabric? Because chances are I'm not going to use the same colour, because I'd specifically chosen that colour for that design. And well, needless to say, I was not a very happy bunny when I realised that it wasn't going to fit. But hey ho, these things happen. I'm not going to sweat it. As far as chatelaines are going, I can't wait to start my new one, but I need to be patient and wait for the fabric to turn up. The second lot of fabric. So that's where we're at on the stitchy stuff. What have we got? So the Glasgow retreat, fabulous time, met some amazing people, quite unique because normally I go to the crew one, and obviously you tend to find that a lot of the ones that were at the crew retreat before turn up to the next one, so everyone sort of knows each other. But obviously when I've gone to the one at Glasgow, this is a new retreat, so it was a new selection of people. There was some people there that I knew, but there was a lot of people there that I didn't know, and they were glorious. They were lovely people. So it was really, really good to meet some new faces and make some new friends. We done a raffle, which was really good. And I got, now, it's had to work out what was from the raffle and what I actually bought. So, one of the prizes was like it was just a baggie, like this. It was sealed up. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with something that I can't actually see what I'm going to get. So I want to see what I got when I got in there. Some of the stuff in here is amazing. So we got some Ada, although I don't think I'll use the Ada because, I don't know. I might use it for some smalls or something, I don't know. But I've got some Ada anyway. We got a little design, bless this child. So bless this child with love and laughter. Okay. It's a little chart, or a little kit. It's got the fabric. And we got, this is immense. This is super impressive. So it's from Gecko Rouge. And it is PB10 very fine braid, petite treasure braid, but it's a cone. It's a cone of it. I was like, oh my god, I'll never have to worry about sparkle ever again. So we have treasure braid, see, in a cone. So that was really good. When I opened it, I was like, wow, I didn't even know they did that in a cone. So I've got plenty of bling. What else did we get? We got Lakeside Needlecrafts, exclusive design by Doreen Jones. Lazy Daisy Days, which is a kit. It's got the fabric, it's got the threads. I think this is out of the World of Cross Stitch magazine. Tea Time Treats. Little teddy bear. And a cute fox hoop kit. Maybe I should send this to Stitcherista because I don't think I'd do foxes, but I know she loves foxes. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you want me to send it to you? I mean, it's super sweet. It's proper girly. Oh, and it's got a baby one. So she's got mummy fox and baby fox. So Stitcherista, I don't know if you've got this one or whether you'd be interested in it. I could send it to you because I know how much you love your foxes because you're a foxy lady. So yeah, so we got that. And this bit is the bit that I really, really was like, oh, because you know me, and threads. So we have a selection of Jodery design threads. Look at those. Lovely. Lovely threads. So easily pleased, aren't I? So we've got some Jodery design threads. We got some needlepoint silks. And you know how much I love my silk threads. Look at those. It's got like a green, a wine colour, orange and blue. And I can always put silks to good use. And then we have thread picker silks. So we've got one that's Life, Universe, Everything. We have, again, thread picker silk, chocolate limes. We have subtle hints. That one's cute. Like that. So yeah. And then as well as that, there was a load of needle minders. Oh, there was some needle minders and then there was some that I bought, but obviously I've mixed them all up now, so I can't remember for the life of me which ones are what, so I'll show those to you momentarily. So also while I was there, I had a hoodie made for me saying the Scottish Stitching Retreat with my name on the back, which is super cool, and it had pink glitzy bits on it. I don't know where it is at the minute. I think it's in the wash, so I can't show that to you right now. As well as I ordered, let's see if I can move that round. I ordered this, so it's like a little pot to put all your stitchy stuff in, but it's got my name on it, see? Little Stitcher, and it's in the shape of a heart, and then all these words are sort of, so it's got Teresa Little Stitcher on there, and then it's got all these stitchy type words. So, you know, like Flosstube, stash, fabric, retreats, whips. It's great, I love it. I love it, and it's got all of my, I've been using it as like a bit of an alt jar, and it's got like a fold away pencil thing in there, and a pencil. So yeah. And then, obviously I got some needle minders as well, which I purchased while I was there. So we've got this one, which is like a spool of thread with a little smiley face on. We've got this one, which I think is one of the ones that came in my, I got a little teddy bear with a pink heart. And these came from, oh come on Teresa, think. I feel like Winnie the Pooh. Do you know what? I had the little card out, special, to tell you what it was, and now I can't remember for the life of me. So I put it underneath. Back now, you should see it pop up. But she was the lady from that company, this Etsy shop. I think it's an Etsy shop. Was also at the retreat, so obviously there was the option to purchase some. So I don't know if you noticed that on my Grace Faces there was a lovely peacock needle minder, which I purchased. She's super cute. And what other one? I think my new one. My new one had a needle minder on it that I purchased while I was there. Yeah, the fairy one. Fairy. So yeah, so we did a bit of purchasing, but not very much, because obviously, like I said, I'd spent so much money on the tax man and everything else that I was trying to be super good. As well as I've ordered a new car, so my new car comes in March, so again, more expense, but that's always a good expense because it's a new car. I do like a new car. So, but the car won't be ready. I don't think it arrives at the dealership until March. So yeah, it's on the new registration plate. So I have to wait. So I'm trying to be patient. But you know when you get super excited and it's like, but I want it now. I'm not allowed to have it now. So, what else is there? So also whilst I was there at the stitching retreat, part of the raffle was that Michelle Butler had done like a tote bag and a little bag as a set, and I was like, that's got my name written all over it, that's so mine, and somebody else got it. So I was absolutely distraught by the fact that I couldn't have one of Shell Butler's bags off the raffle, so I had to order one, because I said to Shell, I said, I want one. I said, because I've only got the big one and I want one like that, like with the tote handles. So she was like, well, what do you want? So I said, well, and she was like, you know, she said we couldn't match it to your frame cover, which has got like the orchid lily type design on it. So I ordered it, and look what I got. How gorgeous is that? And it's perfect size. So it's perfect size for my stitching. So everything's in the thing, and that fits in there like that. And it's beautiful, and look at the fabric on the inside. It's so pink and so me, and it's got swells on it. So yes, so I have a new tote bag, which I love that. So that sits down by my stitchy chair and has all my bits and bobs in it. Fabulous. So thank you, Shell. Really appreciate the fact that you threw that together for me super quick. And it was super quick. Love it. What else to tell you? So I showed you all the beautiful pattern of my spring Quaker, I think, that I got for Christmas, didn't I? Did I show you that? I do hope I did. Well, just in case I didn't. So the lovely Donna Murray bought this for me for Christmas. So this is the spring Quaker. And I needed to organise for the threads because they're... What threads were they? Valandi threads? I don't know. Rosewood Manners collection. Anyway. Well, they don't do them over here in the UK, would you believe? Oh, they do. Actually, that's not strictly true. So they do skeins of the fabric, skeins of the floss here in the UK, but I didn't want skeins. I wanted the actual little kit that was for the spring Quaker. And I wanted the little spool ones because they looked too cute not to have. So I ordered them, and initially it looked like a really exceptional price. But then by the time they got hit with the customs charge, it wasn't so reasonable. But they're too cute. They're just too cute. Check those bad boys out. Let me take the cellophane off so you can see. Look at those. They are too cute. In fact, they're so cute. I love the way they just sort of sit on your finger. So that's how small they are. So I thought when you saw them, or when I first saw them on the website, that they were about the same size as like the pearl cottons, but they're not. They're like little miniature balls of fun. So they fit on my little finger. But they're just too cute. But I love them. So I'm looking forward to starting that. But like I said, spring Quaker is not allowed to start until after my twisted band sampler is completed. So, and that's an absolute necessity. I cannot start another sampler without finishing my other sampler. So, but at least I've got everything ready. So I think the only thing that I haven't got for this yet is the fabric, but that's only because I'm undecided on the fabric still. But once I've got the fabric, then that one's good to go. Also, my cricket collection summer arrived. So looking forward to stitching that one as well. It's got little carrots and it's just gorgeous. Big sun on it there. Sorry about the glare. But yep, so there's another one. So obviously I've got spring, I've got summer, I've got the winter one. I think I've already shown this to you. There's the winter one. So the only one that I haven't got is the autumn one, which is a bit Halloween-y. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking I should do the Halloween one, because that is the only other one. Because otherwise I'm missing one season. And that doesn't really make any sense, does it? So, but I think I'm going to stitch up spring, summer and winter first. And if I really like them all, then I'm going to order the autumn one as well. So, also whilst I was away at the Glasgow retreat, there were some goodies there. Couldn't help myself. There's a lovely, the silver lining canted cross stitch patterns and designs. But it's a picture of a foxglove. And obviously you know how much I love flowers. And the fact that it's so super pink, I was like, do you know what, that'd look lovely in my hallway or in my living room, because it matches all my colours. So it's very pink, very me. So yeah, so I purchased that. So although I didn't purchase a lot, I did purchase a couple of bits and pieces, and obviously I purchased some needle minders. So yeah, so lots of goodies. Last but not least, I received a message on Messenger from a lovely lady called Yasmin, saying that she had some charts that she was never going to stitch. She was trying to get rid of them. Would I like them? And I was like, well, I'm not going to say no. Of course I'd like some. You know, whatever you've got. And she was like, oh, it's only a few charts. I'm going to insert some footage of a video that I actually took when the package turned up, because I knew I wasn't going to be doing the video when it turned up. So I'll insert that here. But wow, people. I know she said she had a couple of charts, but I wasn't expecting quite that many. So around now, I'll be inputting it.
Hello. I had to share this with you, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a video today, so I thought I would share this with you. So a lovely lady by the name of Yasmin sent me 2 boxes full of stuff she just gifted to me that she was not going to do. She was obviously having a bit of a stash clear out, so Yasmin, I'm loving your stash clear out. Thank you so much. I have to show you all these kits. Now, there's no way on God's green earth I'm ever going to be able to stitch all of these charts and all of these kits. And I am going to the retreat the day after tomorrow. I'm heading up to Scotland for the Glasgow retreat. So I've decided that there's a raffle that they're doing, and all the proceedings from the raffle go to a really good cause. So I've decided that I'm going to pick out the ones that I really, really like, and the ones that I know I'm very unlikely to stitch, I'm going to take them with me and put them into the raffle. So I had to share these with you. These are amazing. So all of these are full kits. It's got everything in it. So it's got the fabric, it's got the chart, it's got the threads, it's got the needle, it's got everything. So as you can see, the first one is Dimensions Gold Collection, Candy Cane Santa, and he's adorable. And then we've got Bothy Threads, Gorgeous, which is Perfect Love. Again, all kitted, all in its envelope. Love it. Then we've got this one, which is a Cotton Crosses Party Paws, which is super cute. A little panda. And a shoe. And of course it's a pink shoe. And then we've got Janlin Needle Crafts. I can't see what that one's called. Oh, Antique Sewing Room. And we've got Bothy Threads New England Home Winter. And we've got Bothy Threads Christmas Cupcakes. Super cute, look at those. Oh. And then we've got Bothy Threads Gorgeous, I Gave You My Heart. Super cute. And then we've got Bothy Threads Hobby Sewing. There's loads of hobby stuff or loads of sewing stuff on there. Look at that. And then we've got Gorgeous, I Found My Love in a Book. Really like that one. And we've got Bothy Threads Puddles of Love. I really like that one. I think I might have to keep that one for sure. So that's Gorgeous. And it doesn't end there. So then we've got Bothy Threads Ruby with a little doggy on her lap. We've got Ladybird by Bothy Threads again. And we've got New Heights. Oh, get the whole lot trees. Where she's standing on books. Oh, keep getting glare, sorry. Super cute. And then we've got Oopsie Daisy. Again, this is a gorgeous one. This is Santoro London. Not heard of that one myself. Then we've got Bothy Threads You Brought Me Love. And then another Santoro The Scarf. And then Santoro Pulling on Your Heartstrings. Again, it's a gorgeous one. And then Hush Little Bunny. Can you believe it? Oh, sorry. That many, and that's without the stuff that's in the other box, which is like threads and thread boxes and lots of what is it called? Thread heaven, bobbins, you name it, it's in there. I just can't believe this stack of kits that she's just gifted to me. It's amazing. So thank you so much, Yasmin, and don't worry, they'll all go to a good cause for the ones that I'm unlikely to stitch, but all the others will definitely stay in my to-do. At this rate, I'm going to need to live to the ripe old age of about 200 to be able to get everything stitched. So, but I thank you so much, and it's so lovely to receive the parcel. So thank you.
And if that wasn't enough, if all of that, all of those kits were not enough anyway, she said there's another box on way. So I'm like, really? What, more? Well, the stuff that she sent me is unbelievable. So, there's Madeira threads, loads of Madeira threads, like shiny ones. She sent me endless amounts of bobbins and rings. So I'll never run out of bobbins and rings at this rate. And a load of hoops, which I've never really been a hoop person, but it might be worth having a go with hoops. So we've got some hoops. A whole load of thread heaven and more Madeira threads and more rings. It's just, like a selection box of goodies of like all the sorts of things that you think, oh yeah, I should really get some of those, but oh, I haven't got around to it. And then right at the very bottom, I'm not going to get it out because it's right at the bottom, is a box of beads, which is an assortment of all types of beads, so that if I want to do a project and it just needs a bit of bling, I've got some spare beads. Thank you so much for all the goodies. So it's lovely to chat to you all, and I will see you all again in a month. So until then, bye bye for now.